Hi guys, hi. So in this session we're gonna build a 2D platformer game. In the previous session I talked about this introduction and UI basics of the Godot gaming engine, and in this session we're gonna talk about and build a 2D platformer game. I'm gonna show you how the 2D platformer game looks like. Yeah. Wait a second. Yeah. This is how a 2D platformer looks like. Open image in new tab. Yeah, this is how a 2D platformer games look like. So it's just a 2D platformer game. It's made in a 3D space and 3D world. Let me show more examples. Hollow Knight. Yeah, Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight gameplay. I should show the gameplay. So yeah, the 2D platformer games looks like this in a 2D space. And yep, I'm also gonna show a game, Epic Games. This game is free for this week, so make sure you download it or add to your library. It's a free game. So yep, 2D platformer game looks something like this in a 2D space. Got it? So yep, that's what we are gonna build today. So let me switch. So I will write the basics first. So what is a 2D platformer game? I'll write normally. So a 2D platformer game is a type of game in two-dimensional space. Yep. Like we only do the basic stuff in it, like jumping. Basic mechanics will be the jumping and running, spelling wrong. Wait. Yeah, running and avoiding obstacles. Yep, so these are the basic mechanics of the 2D game, and yeah, let me tell you about the basics of it. So it only have two axes, two-dimensional, as I said, x-axis and y-axis. So there is no z-axis in this game. So x-axis is for left and right movement. If you guys are texting anything, please raise your hand so I get a sound and I can reply. So for the y-axis is for the up and down movement. Got it? X-axis is for the left and right movement in the game, and y-axis is for the up and down movement for the game. So let me tell you more about it. So if the x-axis, the values of the x-axis increases in Godot, the player moves right side. If the x-axis value decreases, the player moves left side, and if the y-axis, if the values of the y-axis increases, the player moves, as we said, up and down. The player moves down if the x-axis values increases. If the Yeah, sorry, if the y-axis values increases, it moves down, the player moves down, and if the y-axis value decreases, the player moves up. So in this is what the 2D works in the Godot. Yep, so let's start building. It is a bit boring, I guess, till now. How many people are there? Okay, 13 people, nice. So yep, open Godot gaming engine as usual. Godot. Yep, let's create a new project and name it as you like. 2D game and forward plus. I told you forward plus is for 3D, mobile is for mobile. Yep, and click on create. Yep, and I also told you about the UI basics of all this in the previous session, so it's fine. Let's go to the 2D workspace. Yep, this one, click on it. So let's create a node. First we have to create a scene and then we have to create a nodes. So let's create a 2D scene, rename it as main, and for this first we have to add a background for the game, obviously. So let's first add background. So yep, let's add background for it. You know, few nodes, right, like sprite 2D and what else we discussed, rigid body 2D in previous session. So let's explore a new node, right click on it and click on the child node. You know how to create a node, click on add child node, click on it. So search for texture, and this is a new node that we are gonna use. So here it displays what it does. It basically, wait, yeah, so this node basically, not that one, yeah, this node basically displays an image. Yeah, sprite 2D does the same, but it is mostly used, the TextureRect used for displays an image. So this is a new node that we are going to use to add our background. So let's click on it. So yep, we have to resize it as the image is so low. We have to resize it first, or we can resize it later. First import our assets. So this is the main part. For this game I use the ready-made assets. I will teach you later on how to create your own pixel art assets on your own, but for now I'll use ready-made assets. You know how to drop the files in the file system. Wait a second, you just have to drop in it and yeah, it starts importing, and I'll share you the link of these assets, don't worry. So let's click on this folder. We have different folders like background, items, main characters, etc. So we want background now, so click on the background, and there are a lot of backgrounds for now, like blue, brown, gray, green, etc. Let me use brown. You know, like you already used in sprite 2D, right? Just drag and drop it over here in the texture. Yeah, just drop it over here. So the picture is now on. Let's resize it. So far so okay, 12 people. Yep, fine, no questions. Yep, so we resized it for the max size of a viewport, and I told you in the previous lecture, like we had to add a filter in order to make the image look sharper. So click on this visibility or texture, I guess, yeah, we have to click on this texture, and then in the filter we have to click on the nearest. So did you look at this? The image looks sharper, no? And then we have to click on this visibility. No, not on the visibility. Yep, in the stretch mode. Here in the stretch mode we have to click on the tile. So this full image is a tile, but we have to add more tiles. This image looks so stretched, so in the stretch mode we have to click on the tile. So did you see this? Now it looks better, right? So this is our background. Background of game done. So you guys have any questions till now? Any questions? What's the child node? Can you do it again? Okay. I talked previously in my before lecture of like what is nodes and what is scenes. I don't know did you say it or not, but yeah, I told you about it, right? Let me try it again. So scene and node. So a group of nodes make a scene. So basically this is our main scene, right? In our scene we add nodes, so it's like adding features. So if we did not add this node, then this background will not be there here, right? So yeah, nodes is like features of the scene. So what is a scene? Scene is like combination of nodes. A lot of nodes makes a scene. And what is a game? A game is a collection of scenes. Yep, collection of scenes. So a lot of scenes make a game. I told you about all this in the previous lecture, but yeah, I saw another question. Wait, what's the name of the child node that you added? Yeah, I will tell it. So this is the TextureRect. Let me do it again for you. I'm deleting it. So yeah, I created a new scene. You guys know how to create a new scene, and right click on it, add a child node, and here type TextureRect. So I told you what this node does. It just displays a texture or a picture. TextureRect. So click on create. So the node is created, and you know, just like the sprite 2D, we have to just drag and drop the background image. Why it's not? Yeah, let's resize it first. Wait a second. Why can't I drag and drop? Okay, fine. In this texture, why can't I click? Wait a second, guys. I'll open it again. There's an issue. So for the people who joined in the middle, I opened this Godot gaming engine, went to this 2D workspace, and then created a new scene. Let's rename it main, and then I added a child node which is TextureRect, which adds an image for the scene. Yeah, so I'm gonna import the assets again. Yep, I imported the assets again. In this assets, I'm gonna use a background. I'm choosing this brown background this time. Just drag and drop it over here like you did with the sprite 2D. Just wait a second. Yeah, just drag and drop it over here in the texture. So yep, our image appears. We can drag and resize it, and then in this texture, in this filter, we have to click on this nearest, so we get that crisp pixel look. We did it. And then in this expand mode, no, in the stretch mode, it is on the scale option. We have to change it to the tile, so it looks something like this. So okay, good. Yep, so the background is done. Okay, let's add tiles to this. So add a child node, TileMap. So this is used basically to create the objects in the game, like the land we stand on and the obstacles. So click on the tile map and click on create. So the tile map is created. We have to create a new tile set over here. In the tile set, we have to create a new tile set. Click on the new tile set. So a new tile set is created, and in the assets, in the ready-made assets which I already imported, let's see the terrain. So this is the terrain. You can just drag and drop. Yeah, we have to click on the tile set and we can drag and drop and click on yes. So here, these are the tiles we're gonna use to create the land of our game and the obstacles and all. So did you guys understand it? Any questions? We basically used a new node called TileMap, which is used to import tiles on our scene. You'll see it in a while, what is tiles and what it does. But these are the tiles. I told you how to import it and how to create a new tile map. So yeah, you have to be creative over here. You can choose how your game should look. So let's select. We have to go to the tile map once the terrain is imported. Go to tile map and select. If you select this, you can just add this into your game. But for now it looks so small. Let me undo it. Yeah, so in this visibility, no, in the transform. So in the inspector, which have all the properties of the tiles, go to transform. In this transform, increase the scale of the tiles. I'll increase it to 3. Yep, now we can use it. Now see, click on the tile. Oh, wait a second. Yep, so click on the tile you want to use and you can add it. You have to get creative with it, how you want to add. Yeah, I'm just randomly making shapes, but yeah, it's up to your creativity how to add it. So yeah, let me make a level design quickly. Control plus Z. Yeah. Let me create a level. You can, click control and select multiple, not, you can click shift and select multiple tiles over here, and you can just, basically import it. Yeah, let me try to do that. Yep, it looks okayish. And we got tools over here, so we can use this to move your tile to this side, which is 90 degrees on the left side, and you can use this to move your tile to the 90 degrees on the right side, and you can use this to mirror it. Let's try that. So let's select a tile. Again the clicks are not working. Let's close and open it again. It won't happen to you, it's happening for me because I'm using this software over here to sketch and write in between. So now these are working. So select a tile, and you can click on it, so it moves 90 degrees towards the left, and you can click on right. So yeah, so you got it right how this tools work. You can mirror this basically, and this is the eraser tool which is used to erase the tiles, the unnecessary tiles. Let me make a level design quickly to show you guys. Give me some time. You can get creative with this part. So yeah, I'm just showing for you guys to teach. So let's try to play this once. We did not select this as a main scene, so let's try it. Yeah, we have to select the current scene of this as our main scene. Select current. So this is how our platformer game looks like. So these are basic steps to jump on, and you can add obstacles and all later on. Yeah, it doesn't look full finished. Yeah, now it's good. Yep. Now it looks kind of okay-ish. We got to stand over here, and then we have this to jump on. Any questions so far? No? Did you guys understand? You sure? Yep. I can do a quick recap later on. But yeah, this is how to add tiles in our scene. You know, to add the ground and obstacles and all that. We can just select and drag it over our scene, and we can erase it. Yep, nice. Please explain. Wait. Please explain again if possible. Sure. You got girl up meeting at 7:30. This session will end at 7. Yeah. Yep. So you can get creative with this part. I'm just trying to mess around with this to make it look better. No, it's not. Yep. Okay, so this is how our game looks like. We have to add our player, right? We have to add our player and add the movement. For that, let's click on main and add a child node. We have to create character body 2D. So what this character body 2D is that it gives the movement of the player. So we can add just a sprite, but it just displays an image. But this is a new node. Wait, let me write it. Character body 2D. What it does, it gives movement and physics for the player. This is a new node. Yeah, today we learn Q nodes, which is TextureRect, which is used to display an image, and TileMap, which is used to display tiles in our scene. And this is a new node, character body 2D, which gives the movement and physics for the player. So let's create a new node, character body 2D, and we can rename it as player. Yep, done. So we have to add a new node. So the character body 2D is a node that's created, but we have to add a image to it. So the image appears on the node, on the scene. So let's create a new node. Click on add child node, and yeah, we can use the node you already know, sprite 2D. Sprite 2D. Click on the sprite 2D, and yep. For this character body 2D, which enables the physics for the sprite 2D, and in the sprite 2D, we have to drag and drop the image. And in this assets, we have main characters a lot, like ninja, frog, virtual guy, and all. So I'm gonna use the virtual guy. You can just drag and drop, as you know. So yeah, it's so small over here. So let's resize it, and it looks blurry as it is. So we have to add the filter for it. In this filters, click on nearest, so to get the pixel art look. We got it, and we have to add the collision for it. You know what is collision, right? Let me try to show you guys. Collision in games. So you guys all played this GTA Vice City and all, right? So if you walk on a road, if a car hits you, you will fall, the player falls. So that's the collision. In the games, basically the collision, yeah, it's so small. So the collision looks like this around the player. So it allows, to interact with the real life objects in the game. So I guess you got a basic idea. So it's an example for the collision detection. When a ball hits, all this fall. So yep, we have to add a collision for our player, so the player actually lands on the ground and stays on the ground. So let's add collision. So this is a new node we are gonna add for this. Add a child node, CollisionShape2D. So this is a child node we are gonna add for this to enable the collisions. Let me try to add, right. So this new node enables collision for the sprite or for the player. So this is a new node, CollisionShape2D. Click on create. So the CollisionShape2D is created, and in this shape we have to select like which shape you want, like circle, capsule or rectangle. I'm gonna click rectangle, or I'm gonna use this capsule shape. Yep. So as you can see, the capsule shape is there. You can resize it according to your player size. Yep, it's done. So let me try to play it once. Let's see what happens. Yep, the player stays like that. Nice. Okay, I did something wrong, I guess. No, it's fine. It looks fine. So we added collision. So we have to add the movement. So I told you, right? This node, which is, we renamed it as player, but which is CharacterBody2D, that enables the movement of the player. But we never got into the coding part, so let's go to the coding part now. Click on the player and create a new script for it. We have to create this. So this creates a new script and we can code in that script. So we have to check this player, which is the CharacterBody2D, and click on this to create a script. So we can use the name as it is, and in this template over here you can click on none and you can create your own code. But for this tutorial, let's use the basic movement template. So when you try, it's gonna default to nothing, but you have to click over here and you have to choose the CharacterBody2D and the basic movement, so it gives the base code. So click on create. So it shows here like what this template does. It gives the basic movement, Yeah, it gives the basic movement and the classic movement and gravity for the games like platformer. So make sure you click the template and select the character body 2D basic movement. You can code, but you can get into that later on. Let's use that template for now and click on create. So this is the base code. I'll explain to you what each line does. What's the time? Yeah. So this is the basic code. So we added a script for it. So let's try to play the game now. It should fall down. Yep, it fall down. It fell down. Yeah. So what happens here is the player has collision, right? But the ground, these tiles does not have collisions, so the player falls. If this ground tiles have collisions, this collision will hit and the player stands over the ground. So any doubts till now? Any doubts till now? No? Just react or just say no. I'll continue. Okay, great. So you got it right. The player has the collision, but the ground tiles does not have a proper collision, so it basically falls down. So let's create collision for the tiles. So click on the tile map, and basically you have to no click on the tile set. Click on the tile set. We have to create a layer over here. I did it already, but yeah. Yep. So we have to click on this tile set to add the collision for this. So click on the tile set and go to the physics layers and click on add an element. We basically create an element for the tiles. So click on the add element. So the element is added. Now we have to paint it. Wait. So go to tile set and we have to select the paint option over here, and in this paint option we have to select this physics layer that we created. So it basically creates a collision layer. So click on the physics layer and then you can just paint. So I use this tile right here. So you have to paint the physics layer to it, to whatever the tiles you added. Yep, I added this one as well, and I added this one, and I also added this one, but let's not add collision for it, and let's try. Let's play it. This is not moving. We added that tile to top. Let's try to remove it. I told you how to remove it, right? Just click on the eraser, remove it. Yep. We can change the jump velocities in the code. That's not an issue. Yeah, let's try to play it now. Yep, so we did not add the collisions for the brick, right? So let's see if we fall. Yeah, we fell. So what happened here is we did not add the collision layer for this red tiles. So yeah, the player falls down. Let me add it to that as well. Hmm? So yep, now the player stands. But for this tile, we did not add any collision layer or physics layer, right? So let's see what happens. Yeah, we fell down. So I'm gonna tell you how to add the collision layer again for you guys. So click on this tile set. First we have to click our node tile map, and we have to click on the tile set, and over here we have to create a new physics layer. Over here we have to create a new physics layer, and then we have to come to our tile set, not the tile map. It is confusing, but if you start making it, you'll get used to it. So click on the tile set, and here you have to select the physics layer which you created over here. Click on it, and you have to click on this paint button, and now you can paint. So for any tile on which you want to add the physics or collision, you can just paint. So yep, let's add for this as well. Yep, I did. Now we can stand on it as well. Ah, we have to design it carefully. So just to show you guys, I did it. But yeah. So where's my pen? Yep. So we learned how to add tiles and how to add movement. And we also learned how to add collision to the player and how to add collision to our tiles. So when the player hit the ground, he stands. So in this session you just learned how to create a scene and how to add the obstacles. These are not called obstacles, but yeah, and you learned how to add all this, right? The time is up. We got 5 more minutes. I got a lot more to tell, but yeah, we can do it on our next session. Any questions till now? Any questions? Did you guys really understand? Understood? Understand? Yeah. Any questions? నిజంగా అర్థమైందా? You can see the recorded lecture later on, but if you want me to repeat or any questions, yeah, just text in the chat. We got 5 more minutes. Yeah, we got few more minutes. So any questions regarding anything? If you want me to do a recap of everything, I'll do it. Or any doubt regarding a node? Yeah, recap would be great, would help. Okay, what else? No questions? Fine. So what we did is we created a new project. Obviously we opened the Godot and we created a new project, and we added yeah, we added a new node which is called TextureRect, which is used to display this background image. It is used to display the background. Okay. Yep. This TextureRect is used to display background or display any image, and this tile map. So all these blocks, this land, this rocks you see over here are tiles. So this tile map is a node which allows to add tiles to our game, and this I renamed it as to player, but this node is CharacterBody2D. So what this node does is it gives movement for the player. This CharacterBody2D node gives the movement for the player. So we added sprite to add our player image. You know what sprite2D does. And for this sprite2D we added a collision shape. Why add a collision shape? Because yeah, let me write it first. This collision2D added collision for our player or of sprite. So yep. So this adds collision for our player. You can see this circle. This is collision, which collides with our collision with our land. So the player stays on the ground instead of falling down. And we use this script. This is a template, but I'm gonna explain more when we try to create this Flappy Bird game. So yeah, for now you can use that template. It gives the basic movement for a platformer. Yep. So this is what we did. Yeah, I know this looks bad, but we can refine it later on. We can add animations to it, and we can do much more, but yeah, the time is up. So any other questions? The session is recorded, so if you have to do assignments or build what I did, you can just look into it. Where we can get the resources, I'll share it. I'll share the link in the WhatsApp group, don't worry. Any more questions? You know, we got a lot of tiles and you guys can get creative, and later on in the pixel art session I will teach you guys how to make your own assets or own backgrounds and all. So yeah. Okay, thanks for staying till now. Any questions, or you guys can leave? When is the pixel art session? So first I taught you guys how to make this platformer, right? Later on we will refine this platformer, and then I will also teach you guys how to make a Flappy Bird game. It's a basic game but good for beginners, and then I'll teach this pixel art session. The pixel art session is gonna be for everyone. I'll try to share the poster for people in groups. So yeah. So after the pixel art session, what you have to do is create the games on your own. Create the art on your own and build these games with your own art. So that's gonna be your assignment. So that's the plan basically. Yeah. So any advices? Thanks guys for staying till now. I will stop the recording